Hello and blessings. My name is Daniel Rama, joined by my partner Shakti, and we're filming in our beautiful little house here in Bali. Today we have for you a 20-minute advanced practice. Now feel free to make any adaptations that you need. Make this practice your own. We'll begin by taking just a little time to warm up the wrists. So join me, tabletop position, hands planted underneath the shoulders, fingers pointing to the outside edges of your mat. Start by gently shifting the shoulders side to side, working to keep the eye of your elbow looking in towards each other as much as possible. Now keep the side-to-side motion, but start to add a semicircle. Hips go down to the heels, back up towards the hands. Very lightly lengthening through our wrist flexors. Take a few more moments here. Keep your breath flowing. Beautiful. Now come back to neutral. Fingers point forward. We'll do some wrist flexion raises. Keep your knuckles planted, lift your thumbs, and lift the palms all the way up off the mat. Gently lower your palms back down. It's effectively a push-up using only the muscles of your forearms. Keep lifting and lowering. Quick to lift, slow to lower. If it's easy, you can try shifting your shoulders more forward, or even down the road, these exercises can be done from plank position. Either way, we're just working to bring a little heat to the hands, the wrists, the forearms. One more moment here. Beautiful. Palms plant. When you're ready, find downward facing dog. Take a few breaths, our first down dog. Maybe pedaling the heels, swaying the hips a little side to side, or if you prefer, just finding stillness. Start to notice that natural length through the backs of your legs and your spine. Next two breaths. Join me in stillness. Keep your hands and heels pushing down. At the same time, hips are lifting towards the sky. Drive out through the backs of your knees. But of course, if there's any unwanted tension, you can always have a light bend through the legs. Now with the next smooth inhalation, start to tiptoe your feet forward, walking gently towards the top of your mat, eventually finding yourself in a standing forward fold. Completely relax the head and neck. Any hand or arm variations are welcome. Maybe grabbing the backs of the ankles, maybe tucking the fingertips just underneath the toes, whatever works for you. Two more breaths. Let the body hang. We work to create length through each individual vertebrae. Now, a slight bend in the knees, strong legs, smooth inhalation, rolling the body up, one vertebrae at a time. Chin lifting last. Relax your shoulders down and back. Chin parallel with the earth, tailbone slightly tucking under. Take a deep inhalation at the top. Exhale, bring the hands into heart center. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward down, palms flat on the mat. Inhale, step your right leg back, knee is down, chin is lifted. Take a few breaths, your low lunge. Choose to keep your hands down or come up to the lead leg, maybe the thumbs checking in with the hips. As much as possible, try to stay active, meaning you're pulling your feet together, almost like you're trying to fold your mat in half. Tailbone is tucking, navel pulling back towards the spine. Close the eyes and breathe. One more moment here. Beautiful. Now, plant your right hand down on the mat. With an inhalation, straightening the right leg, we work to stack left foot on top of right, finding side plank. Left arm reaching up towards the ceiling. Hips are nice and high. Feel that the body is lifted. Try not to relax into your right shoulder. Think about distancing yourself from the floor. One more breath. The exhalation, planting both hands. Shift the shoulders forward. Bend the elbows halfway. Inhale, scoop the chest. Upward facing. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing. Right away, stepping or floating forward, high to the toes, bend the knees, find your option. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Keep the weight forward over your toes. Exhale, fold. Relax the head and neck. Inhale, reach the arms forward, up, slightly back. Exhale, relax the arms alongside the body. Deep inhalation. Complete exhalation, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up, open the chest, gentle back bend. Exhale, forward and down, palms flat. Inhale, carries your left leg back, knee is down, chin is lifted, finding your low lunge, whatever option you were working with before. 5 breaths, really working to isolate and experience some lengthening through your left hip flexor. Remember that same activation, tailbone under, navel to the spine. Without back bending, maybe a slight lean towards the back of your mat. Feel that intensify the stretch. Moving along, left hand plants, right foot stacks on top of left, finding your side plank. Choose to gaze either down at the left hand or up towards the right. Work to keep those hips high, your core is engaged. Tailbone still tucking under here. One more inhalation. The exhalation, plant both hands, shoulders shift forward. Keep exhaling, gently bend the elbows. Inhale, scoop the heart. Exhale, hips up and back. Right away, your option, high to the toes, bend the knees, step or fly to the top. Inhale, halfway lengthen, weight over the toes. Exhale, fold, relaxing a little deeper. Inhale, reach the arms forward, up, slightly back. Exhale, relaxing the arms alongside the body. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale again, hands to heart center. Only this time your inhalation, step the right leg way back, arms reaching all the way up to the sky, finding a high lunge. Take 3 breaths here. Same activation as in the case of our low lunge. Really work to tuck the tailbone, feel that stretch through the right hip flexor. One more inhalation. As you exhale, rotate the right heel down, arms open, find warrior 2. Gazing over your middle finger towards the front of your space. Feel your left leg pulling back, left hip pushing forward. Eventually we find that nice opening through the hips. Staying just one more moment here. Now transitioning back through your high lunge, arms reach, you lift the right toes. The next exhalation, fire up the right foot, floating, warrior 3. Standing on that left leg, work to keep your right hip square to the left. 3 more breaths. Few more moments here. Now we have the option of going either into a standing split, or you can take a few times working with some handstand hops. So folding forward, finding your option. You don't need to catch your handstand. Just work to keep the shoulders pushing nice and tall. Arms are strong. Few more moments for the practice. Beautiful. Meeting together in our standing split. Without your right foot touching the ground, inhale, coming all the way up. High staff pose, right knee lifted, arms towards the sky. Extend your right leg if you can. Stay very active. Navel pulls to the spine, chest is lifted. One more inhalation. At the exhalation, bend your right knee, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, sink the hips, find a half lotus throne. Gentle opening through the outside of that right hip. I choose to stay or play. If you want to, you can find the hand balance. So we work to bring right elbow all the way down to the right foot. Hands plant parallel with the long edge of your mat. Bend the elbows, chest shifts forward. Grasshopper pose. Few moments for your playing practice. Eventually, coming back to that half lotus chair, Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, come to stand. Relax the arms. Same thing, left side. Inhale at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. The inhalation carries your left leg back. High lunge, 3 breaths. Two more. Last inhalation. On the exhalation, left heel rotates down, arms opening. Find your warrior 2. Keep the hips sinking. Feel that you're grounding down through the outside edge of your left foot. Inside arch, slightly lifted. Beautiful. Transitioning back through your high lunge, arms reach to the sky. Start to fire up the left foot, floating. Warrior 3. Few breaths. You can choose to keep your left foot pointed, or you can flex the toes towards the face. Whatever you do, just activate that left leg. Staying a few more moments. Now the option, folding, finding your standing split, or a few handstand hops. Again, the aim is not necessarily to catch your handstand, it's to stay strong through your shoulders. Keep pushing the earth away. Think about distancing yourself from the floor. Meeting together in our standing split. Moving to staff. Inhale. Reaching left knee towards the chest. Arms to the ceiling. Straighten your left leg if possible. A few more moments. Keep the core strong. Moving along. Bending that left knee. Sinking the hips. Half lotus throne. Choose to stay or play. 5 breaths for your option. Coming back to our standing position, right foot plants. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, release. Relax the arms alongside the body. Take an inhalation, reach the arms all the way up. The exhalation, swan dive, forward fold. Relax the head and neck. Take a short little breather. Beautiful. Now a little work for our handstand press. These are called palm presses, and we're going to have a more advanced option as well. For palm presses, keep your hands planted. We want to keep pushing the earth away. Shift the shoulders, the upper body forward. Come high to your toes. Then set the heels back down. Push into the earth. Shift high to the toes. All the weight in your hands. Set it back down. Just moving to your edge. A few more times like this. Shifting forward and backward. If you feel that it is easy, we can start to travel the length of our mat. So the same setup, hands plant, shift the upper body forward, then flex the feet, set them down a little farther than where they started. Reset, hands plant, shift the shoulders forward, flex the feet, land behind. Keep traveling towards the back of your space. If it's difficult, remember, just work with that palm press, stationary activity. Once you make your way to the back, we go forward. Hands plant a little farther forward. Shift high to the toes. Flex the feet, set them down between the hands. Should be a little bit easier, this one. Hands plant, shifting all the way forward. Set the feet down. Once you make your way to the top of the mat, we'll take the feet about hip distance apart. Sink the hips, bend the knees. Take a few moments in Malasana. It's hot here in Bali. Having some difficulty talking, so no worries if it's challenging for you at home. Hands to heart center, knees push into elbows, elbows push into knees. Slow down the breath, slow down the heart rate. Beautiful. Reach your arms straight out in front. Sink the hips. Sit down and lie down. Relaxing on your back. Find a few moments. Short Shavasana. Practicing today a little shoulder stand. We'll close our practice with this sequence. If you're not practicing shoulder stand, you can just take the legs all the way up to 90 degrees, still gaining many of the same benefits, but a little bit less intense. If you are practicing with us, arms alongside the body, palms planted, chin slightly tucked in. Remember not to change your head position throughout this sequence. When you're ready, strong inhalation, swing the legs up, lift the hips, supporting the back of your body with the hands. Staying here for a few moments. Deep, full breaths. If you'd like to make yourself straighter, try bending the knees towards the forehead, taking some pressure away from the spine. We work to wiggle the elbows closer together, shoulders more under the body, hands eventually reaching more towards the upper back. When you're ready, straightening the legs back up, finding a taller, more stable shoulder stand. Staying as you are for 5 more breaths. Two or three more remaining. Setting up for Halasana. Flexing both feet. Big inhalation at the top. Keep your hips high. As you exhale, lower the straight legs down behind your head. Toes touching. If the toes are still lifted in the air, keep supporting the back body with the hands. If the feet happen to touch, any hand variation is welcome. 5 or 6 breaths here. Keep the hips nice and high. Notice what it feels like to have your toes pointed, what it feels like to keep the feet flexing towards the top of the head. Beautiful. Now, if they're not already, one at a time, plant your hands flat on the mat. Use the arms and core as a brake to gently roll the body down, one vertebrae at a time. Eventually lowering the legs. Short Shavasana. Take up space. Relax. Beautiful. We'll set up a little supine spinal twist before moving to Matsyasana, our shoulder stand counter posture. With an inhalation, bring both knees towards the chest. Maybe hands around the shins. Take a moment to rock gently side to side. And when you're ready, allow both knees to fall over towards the right side. Left arm opening in the opposite direction. We can keep those shoulder blades planted. Decide what you want to do with the head and neck. Maybe keep it neutral. Maybe gaze towards the left. Or maybe even gaze towards the right. 3 more breaths. Make them deep and full yogic breaths. Now next inhalation, engage the core. Bring the knees gently back to center. Switching sides. When you're ready, allow both legs to fall over towards the left side. Setting up your arms, setting up the head position. Notice the knees. You'll see here the tendency is for your right knee to be moving a little bit back towards the hips. You want to keep the knees square. So it means pushing your right hip a little bit more forward or a little bit more towards the left. One more moment. Beautiful. Moving along, next inhalation, bring both knees back to center. Take a moment, hug the knees tightly towards the chest, big hug. Next exhalation, straighten and release. Send the legs long. Setting up Matsyasana, the fish, final pose for today. Bring the arms underneath the body, elbows as close together as possible. You're literally sitting on the wrists, fingertips reaching down towards the heels. Squeeze the shoulder blades together from the very beginning. When you're ready, inhale, push into the elbows, lift the chest, drawing the crown of your head down towards the mat. Every inhalation, feel the center of your chest lifting. And with every exhalation, work to relax something. Four or five more breaths. Make sure the arms are very active. 90% of the weight running through the elbows. Beautiful. Preparing to exit. Next inhalation, lift the chest. Exhale, lower the upper body back down. Right away, releasing the arms, finding stillness. We welcome any additional movements before your final relaxation. Otherwise, if you are ready, allow this practice to sink in. Allow yourself these moments of stillness, the energy, the benefit of our moments together today, gently becoming part of you. Surrender to the relaxation. If you are enjoying your relaxation, feel free to continue. Otherwise, if you're ready, bring the legs together, arms alongside the body. Inhale, stretching the arms overhead. Find one last lengthening. And as you release, rolling towards the right side. Pausing for a moment, upper arm as a pillow. When you're ready, press your left palm into the earth. Join me in a comfortable seated position. Legs ideally crossed. Hands relaxing wherever feels most authentic to you. Closing today's practice, I would like to thank you all very much for joining me, for sharing with me your presence and your energy. And I thank you for allowing me this opportunity to share my own. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste.